Hello everyone. So today we're following on from Andy's introduction.
Andy Jukes.
Yeah, Andy's introduction from last week about the heart. And he did mention about this verse from Proverbs that we're looking at today, but we're going to go into it a little bit more deeply. But the verse from Proverbs that we're looking at is particularly special to Andy and I because it was our wedding verse.
What does that? Come on, Carol. What does that mean? Oh, it's our wedding verse.
Well, it was
spoken
about.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. It was the verse that came crashing in on the back of a car. Someone flew. There's a plane flying past with this verse. What's it mean?
It means that somebody spoke on it at our wedding.
Oh, so it's a carpet that they stood on and they spoke on. It's jargon. No, the reason this hits home is my wife is. Us men, we kind of miss things. In the Bible, it talks about Mary pondering these things in her heart. This is what this is about. This is someone that Carol grew up with. Brian Hare lived in the upstairs of the house that Carol lived in the downstairs, or the other way around. And she grew up with Brian Hare and his wife,
And
Ivy, and their two children, Nigel and Jonathan. So this is the guy who was an elder in the church that actually gave the talk at our wedding. So, and he talked on
this passage from Proverbs that we're looking at today. So what I did, I got out our wedding video and I rewatched it because I knew it was our verse, but I wanted to also know and try and remind myself what Brian had said. So and it really came in a new way. So first of all, the reason I think he chose this verse, I'll read it. I'll read this verse. It's from Proverbs chapter 4. We're reading a passage, but I'll point out the verse to you when we come to it. And I'm reading it from the NIV version. My son, pay attention to what I say. These are Solomon's words. So he's talking to his son. Do not let them out of your sight. Keep them within your heart, for they are life to those who find them and health to one's body. And this is the verse. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And in the version that Brian spoke from, it says, watch your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the well springs of life. So I remember it. Keep your mouth free of perversity. Keep corrupt talk far from your lips. Let your eyes look straight ahead. Fix your gaze directly before you. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways. Do not turn to the right or to the left. Keep your foot from evil. And the reason Brian chose the heart to talk about was because of our wedding cake. So I've got a picture of it here. And it was in a heart shape. So I'm going to...
Go closer.
Go a bit closer.
Yeah, lovely.
So we had it was a 3-tier cake, and that was the top tier. But it collapsed because it was a really hot day. And that was our heart-shaped wedding cake. And all my bridesmaids had red dresses with little, let's see if I can, with little tiny hearts. Can you see them? In white on the dresses. So that was my bridesmaid. Yeah, I'm back there.
She's living it. She's living it. So that is what, in many ways, that's what this verse has done for Carol. Yeah. It's back.
Reminding me of our wedding.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing I've been doing is I've been creative, because that's me. So I've been making some origami hearts. So I've got them. Andy's got a piece of black paper because they're not showing up very well. So I've got some here to show you. There's one. I made a little tiny one. And a slightly bigger one in pink. Let's see if we can see that. Yeah, there you go. So if you'd like to have a go at making some origami hearts, I'll post on our WhatsApp group the link, because I used a video from YouTube. But they're very delicate. And I thought that's a really good, because our hearts are delicate, aren't they? When the Bible talks about our heart, it talks about it really means our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts. And it's easy for hearts to get crushed by unkind things that people say, by stuff that we watch online. And it's easy for our hearts to not be in the place that God wants them to be, and that's soft towards Him. So that's the bit that I wanted to share with you.
I was thinking with these hearts, when it says guard them. So when you think of guarding something, one of the greatest sadnesses for the art world is when a major piece of artwork is sold and the person who buys it, this beautiful, uplifting piece of art, they buy it for mega bucks and then they stick it in a bank vault. That's how they guard this. Now, is that the guarding of the heart we want? The danger is, if God doesn't want us to lock ourselves away, to guard ourselves, and to go, oh, we must shut things off. That's where unfortunately, those of us that choose to do that get and talk about, oh, we're believers, we're wonderful, God's wonderful, and then people look at us and they say, oh, you're boring. There is no way, shape, or form that you're actually living. And this, it talks, verse Brian talked about was the well springs of
Life.
And lots of people look at the church and they think it's dead. They think it's dark, they think it's boring, they think it's lifeless. Because we're trying to guard the wrong thing. In the verse before the passage, it's fantastic. First, the road the righteous travel is like the sunrise, getting brighter and brighter until the daylight has come. It's not about, and then I'm reading the Good News, by the way. Verse 22 says, remember them, keep them in your heart. They will give you life and health to anyone who understands them. It's not about. So when we're talking about guarding your heart, or in the Good News, it talks about be careful how you think. Your life is shaped by your thoughts. It's not a case of we remove ourselves from life. Okay, we have to be careful with certain aspects of life. You look at social media, you don't take it all on board.
Yeah.
Does it mean that the church, oh, we're not going to do Facebook, we're not going to do Twitter? No, it doesn't mean that whatsoever. It actually means we have to look to God and we have to trust. Paul talks about it in Ephesians 4 verse 8 when he says, in conclusions, my brother, fill. So this is a positive, active. This isn't shutting yourself away. Fill your minds with these things that are good and deserve praise. Isn't that wonderful? Deserve praise. Things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely. Doesn't the world need things that are lovely at the moment? And honourable. It's not about shutting your heart in a safe and sticking it in a bank vault and that's how we protect, that's how we guard it. Guarding is entering into this positive relationship, going to be with God. And life, it's about life. We know, okay, so I've got a slight heart condition, and I know I'm now on some medication. And I know, you got to go and see the doctor, you go and see a consultant. They're worried. They're concerned. Why are they concerned? Because my physical part is not functioning as a perfect human specimen. And I'm not a perfect human specimen. Anyway, am I? So, but our physical pump is important to our daily life.
We're not talking about our physical.
But that's why they're using this they're using this figurative language to talk about heart. Why? Because without it,
life doesn't exist.
Bang. No.
So I want to close with this verse from Psalm 139. You probably know it quite well. And it's a Psalm of David, of course. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. A lot of you have gone back to school this week, and I expect some of you are anxious. And God knows how you're feeling. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Thank you for listening. Speak soon. Bye.
Bye.